and gentlemen, please welcome your... Jonathan Ross.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't think I've been eating these. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. Willkommen, bienvenue, or as they say here in Amsterdam, konnichiwa. It is to see you all here today. I know some of you have travelled quite a distance. You made a big effort to be here, and we appreciate you making that journey. Should also say hello to everyone who's watching online around the world. Thank you for tuning in and joining us. Now, as a gaming fan myself, I was thrilled when Nintendo called me and offered me the chance to look at this new thing early and also to come over here and talk to you about the first ever gaming console that delivers 3D as we experience it in real life without the need for special glasses, no matter how large. Today we're going to show you something which is obviously exciting but also completely unique, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, the Nintendo 3DS. And the good news for everyone right here is that by the end of the day, all of you will have the chance to experience it for yourself firsthand. But in the meantime, well, we had to work out how to explain to you what it actually was like, the full 3D effect of the Nintendo 3DS without you actually holding one. That's quite a challenge. A couple of hours of painstaking research. I think I came up with the perfect way to do that, which is to pass the buck and get someone else out here to do it. So here, to explain more about the Nintendo 3DS, will you please welcome Nintendo of Europe's Managing Director of Marketing and PR, Laurent Fischer.
Thank you, Jonathan. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome in Amsterdam. As you may remember, over a decade ago, we experimented with 3D. We even considered incorporating it into GameCube. But the technology to enable people to view 3D just wasn't there. In fact, ever since the day of NES, we've been pursuing the possibility of 3D. Because we have not given in, we were able to find out that the technology has improved. And as we kept challenging ourselves to find a way to use it on our systems, we can benefit from the fact, as far as 3D experience is concerned, portable game machines have an advantage over home consoles because they come with their own screen. We have developed a portable entertainment device that enables you to view full 3D in the palm of your hand. And there is much more to the Nintendo 3DS than bringing 3D gaming to the masses. Let's take a look. We reinvented gaming with the original touchscreen Nintendo DS. And then again with the Wii's motion controller. Now, the Nintendo 3DS is set to change gaming again. Of course, the most obvious change is the large 3D display screen on top.
So I can see it from here. And am I right in thinking that it obviously is bigger than the smaller screen? Is that bigger than the screen on my DSi?
Yeah, absolutely, that's right. That top screen is about 10% larger than the one on your Nintendo DSi. But what is really unique is what you experience on the screen. The 3D effect is fully adjustable. If you look just to the right of the screen, over there, you can see the 3D depth slider. This enables you to adjust the 3D to suit you.
And whenever I buy something like this, I always want to know whether it's going to be backward compatible. Can you play the old DS games on it?
Yeah, you bet. Nintendo 3DS will accept not only your Nintendo 3DS games, but also almost all your favorite Nintendo DS and DSi titles. There's also a SD card memory slot. 2 gig cards come with the system, and of course, you can upgrade from there by purchasing larger size SD cards.
And the controls, they look more or less the same as the ones we're used to.
Yeah, you find again the basic control. You have A, B, X, and Y buttons on the right. On the left and right shoulder, you have the left and right shoulder button, and on the other side, you also recognize the control pad. But here's a new addition, and it's an important one, that analog circle pad just above the control pad you can see over there. Developers are going to love using this for precise movement of character, or movement of the camera, or put it into other innovative uses, but we'll have more of that later.
Which is something you say quite a lot, I notice.
Yeah. What we can see, however, what we can't see, however, are the two elements at work inside the consoles. A built-in motion sensor and gyro sensor can react to the motion and tilt off the system.
Which sounds to me incredibly impressive, but I've no idea what that actually means.
So whether players are twisting the system side to side or moving them up or down, their motion-compatible Nintendo 3DS games respond instantly. No other cine tools for game developers to create new and fun experiences for players. Next, I'd like to point out something small but means a lot. You see that light over there? Actually, you're looking there.
Yeah, well, there's both places.
Okay, let's cross. Okay,
3D.
It's the same on the same side. This will signal a new level of automatic connectivity that will take handheld gaming onto another level. But more of that later.
Well, there you go again. Your wife must love it when you keep saying that, more of that later. One thing I have to ask you, now I saw in the film that it said it has a 3D camera. This is a true 3D camera?
Yeah, absolutely. It actually got 3 cameras, as you had noticed, in the movie. The first is just above the screen and is allowing you to photograph your own image as you use the consoles. On the outside, there's also 2 separate cameras. These 2 cameras will allow developers to explore new forms of game design, and on top of this, with Nintendo 3DS, you can take and view your own 3D photos and share them with friends by SD memory card.
Well, I love the idea that 3D photos are great. It's such an exciting thing. What else? What other features can you tell us about?
So, apart from being able to watch and play in 3D without glasses, another interesting aspect of the Nintendo 3DS is Spot Pass.
Spot Pass.
What's that?
Okay, I have no idea. What is it?
Spot Pass will revolutionize the way you receive content whilst on the move. When you enter a compatible Wi-Fi area and your Nintendo 3DS receive data, the notification LED I was speaking a bit earlier will illuminate, showing you that it has received content such as notification and data that can be used in the game. System updates after hardware launch will add content to be received by Nintendo 3DS, such as 3D video. To make it work, we are in contact with a number of potential Wi-Fi hotspot partners across Europe, including Guglielmo and Linkem in Italy. We have KPN here in the Netherlands. We have Telecom in Germany, TMN in Portugal, Meteor in France, and BT Phone in the UK.
So your console, basically, when you're out, it will connect without you having to lift a finger, without you having to do anything.
Yeah, that's right. This happens even if you are not aware of it, and no matter what game is currently installing your game slot. Even during the system sleep mode, your Nintendo 3DS can access the internet and will receive a wide variety of content.
And can you receive that content through your Wi-Fi at home as well?
Yes, absolutely you can. Once you've set it up on your Nintendo 3DS.
Okay, so you've got it configured. What kind of content? Can you be more specific about the kind of content you'll be receiving?
Absolutely. We have already lined up some very interesting partners on that topic. We're pleased to announce today that we have partnered with Eurosport to to bring engaging 3D sport videos to the Nintendo 3DS via Sport Pass in the future. Sport video has the power to appeal to everyone. Eurosport, as a pioneering media group with extensive sport content and 3D expertise, is the perfect pan-European partner to provide users with compelling 3D content through Nintendo DS. We are also in discussion with partners at the country level. In the UK, for instance, we are working with British Sky Broadcasting to provide short-form content from Sky 3D to Nintendo 3DS. We look forward to revealing more about this partnership in the coming months. But this is just the beginning. We are in discussion with many more potential partners. Our aim is to deliver regular, engaging, and entertaining content to all Nintendo 3DS owners via Sport Pass.
And sport in 3D always looks great. I believe we just so happen, though, to have a representative from one of those partners, at least here today, don't we?
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Okay, the person I'm going to introduce you to now, I know my kids are going to be very jealous that I get to meet him here today, because not only is he the co-founder of the legendary Aardman Animations, the world-famous company, of course, that not only are behind Wallace and Gromit, but have made feature films like Flushed Away and Chicken Run, of course. But for me, I'm excited because he is the man responsible for one of my favorite animation characters of all time, Morph. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome onto the stage Mr. David Sproxton. Well done.
I'm there.
Hey, David.
Hi, Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan. I must say I'm very pleased to be invited here today to talk to you all about Aardman involvement with Nintendo and the new Nintendo 3DS. Aardman's been in business for over 30 years now, and so much of our success is to do with our belief that at the heart of a great business, there are great ideas driven by great people. And we're fortunate that over the decades, we've developed some fantastic talent. Talent which has helped us achieve the great many successes we've had in television, feature films, and commercials, and the newly developed digital platforms of online games, websites, social networks, and multi-platform projects. But there's more to it than just talent and ideas in this business. Partners who can bring finance, or access to the global market, or great storytelling skills, or groundbreaking technology. And I'm pleased to say that we've worked with some of the best business partners in the world, premier television broadcasters, Hollywood feature film studios, and some of the world's leading technology companies. And now, Nintendo, who are, of course, world leaders in the games industry. Aardman also prides itself on being in the vanguard of new developments, both technical and creative. For example, over 10 years ago, Aardman was one of the very first companies to launch an animated series using the internet, in partnership with Atom Films. Angry Kid found his audience through the internet with over 60 million downloads, long before he found his niche on television. Pioneering might be too strong a word for us, but innovation is very much in our DNA. And this partnership with Nintendo is very much about innovation, moving things forward, and creating new markets. And today, with over 600 people on the payroll, Aardman is firing on all cylinders, with our productions reaching huge audiences worldwide. In fact, it's this global success and Aardman's ability to create compelling content across many platforms that has led to this very, very exciting partnership with Nintendo. Last year, we worked with Nintendo to help promote the Flipnote studio on the DSi. One of our animators created 12 short films on the Nintendo DSi using the software, and we realized that here was another partner that had the same philosophy as we did, to create excellent entertainment in innovative ways to reach global audiences. So, today, it gives me great pleasure to be able to announce that Aardman and Nintendo are once again working together to bring some very exciting developments to the public. Aardman's going to provide specially created content featuring the world-famous, award-winning Shaun the Sheep, exclusively for the Nintendo 3DS in full-blown 3D. We will be producing a series of 1-minute shorts to exploit the amazing capabilities of the Nintendo 3DS. And these short films will be accessed via Spot Pass and should be available at the end of the year. Over the last few years, we've established Shaun as a major brand with broad appeal in over 150 countries worldwide. That's from the USA right the way through to China. We have numerous global partnerships across many different activities, including television, merchandise, publishing, and more recently, live stage shows. And all this is supported by a huge digital campaign encompassing Shaun the Sheep's own online game, which to date has had over 70 million plays. And of course, we're supporting his 900,000 Facebook fans. So this broad audience and massive global fan base creates a very strong platform for this very special partnership and ensures the collaboration will be a great success. We will be bringing Shaun the Sheep's unique form of physical comedy to his many, many fans, not only in glorious 3D, but also to people on the move, using the extraordinary technology which is embedded in the Nintendo 3DS. It really is an exciting project, and one which we think fans of both Shaun the Sheep and Nintendo will appreciate to the full. In fact, we can't wait to start working up some hilarious storylines. And to remind you of why everyone around the world loves Shaun the Sheep, here's some clips from the latest TV series.
Even mucks about with those who cannot bleat. Keep it in mind, he's one of a kind. Oh, life's a treat with Shaun the Sheep. He's Shaun the Sheep. He's Shaun the Sheep. He's Shaun the Sheep. He doesn't miss a trick or ever lose a beat. Perhaps one day you'll find a way. Oh, come and blink with Shaun the Sheep.
Thank you, David. That sounds fantastic. I personally can't wait to have a mini 3D. Thank you, David.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you later. Go on. Now, in addition to Spot Pass, which you've mentioned, and we know there'll be lots of different uses for that, there's also something I believe called Street Pass, which sounds a bit like something you'd rather get on a train, but it isn't, of course. Can you tell us what Street Pass actually is?
So Street Pass is the name for enhanced local area connection between Nintendo 3DS systems. Why don't we have a look?
Let's have a look.
Put simply, with Street Pass, your Nintendo 3DS automatically exchanges game information with our Nintendo 3DS system that owner pass in the street. And you don't need to be playing to have the game inserted for that to happen. As we have seen, if you put your Nintendo DS into the sleep mode and carry it around, when you pass by another Nintendo 3DS owner who has not turned on the system, your Mii character will be exchanged with his or hers. This Mii's character will gather in the Street Pass Mii Plaza in your Nintendo 3DS system, and you will find out which country or region the Mii came from, and which was the last software he or she played with Street Pass. Also, it enables you to instantly exchange data that can enrich your gameplay, and even have head-to-head battles without you having to do a thing. But, to be clear, no such transfer occurs unless you want them to. We have designed Nintendo 3DS to enhance the sense of community. There is a very important change in the way friend codes are implemented. With Nintendo 3DS, there's only one code necessary, and you only need to register once. The codes are not software dependent. And when friends are registered via local wireless, the registration is instantaneous, without the need to manually exchange the code. You'll never have to input the code to play with those same friends online. You'll also find out who is playing right now, what they are playing, and you'll be able to join them much more easily than before. Then, community can happen automatically. The Street Pass feature provides endless opportunity for game developers. We, at Nintendo, have been having fun incorporating it into our games and applications, and I can't wait to see what other game developers come up with.
Well, it's probably a good time now to meet some of those developers. So for now, will you join me in saying thank you to George Clooney, Lauren Fisher here. Lauren, thank you very much indeed. We'll see you a little bit later. He's too good looking. Now, if you're anything like me, then you will, of course, already know who Capcom are. One of the most renowned computer game companies with a real heritage in arcade gaming, of course. They're the people who created the phenomenally successful Street Fighter franchise. They've been using the Street Pass technology that we've just been hearing about in their development of the forthcoming Super Street Fighter 4 3D edition. So here to tell us a little bit about it more now is the producer of Street Fighter from Capcom. It is, of course, Ono-san, Mr. Ono.
Hi, 皆さんこんにちは。カプコンの小野です。
Hello everyone, I'm Ono from Capcom.
本当に今日寒いですよね。
It's very cold today, no?
で、ここちょっと遠いですよね。
And we're really far out in the nowhere here, no?
ちょっと皆さん長い間座ってるので、こう腰が疲れてるかもしれないので、皆さんちょっと両手を上に上げてみてください。
And I think you've been sitting here for a while now, and probably your back is hurting, so why don't you all raise your hands?
そして、
like this.
手を合わせて、
And put them together.
はい、せーの、波動拳
So, 1, 2, Hadouken!
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
今日はですね、皆さん、バーチャルボーイ2ではありません。任天堂 3DS のことを皆さんにお話したいと思います。
And today I would like to talk about Virtual Boy 2, no, Nintendo 3DS.
You know Virtual Boy?
I've got one. I've got the headaches to prove it.
Right. 今日はですね、僕、このちょうど同じ時間ぐらいにですね、大西洋ですね、を渡った向こう側のニューヨークでは、NOA が同じようなイベントをやってます。
And actually, right now, at the same time, across the Atlantic Ocean, Nintendo of America is doing a similar event.
でも、今日は僕はこちら側、ヨーロッパに来ています。
But I am not there, but I am attending this event here in Amsterdam.
NOA のレジー社長と NOE の、柴田社長がじゃんけんをして柴田さんが勝ったので僕はこちらに来ています。
To explain why I'm here, it's actually that Reggie of Nintendo of America and Mr. Shibata won, so I'm here, live in front of you.
柴田さんに拍手しといてください。
So please grant a warm applause to Mr. Shibata.
はい。じゃあそろそろ本題を話さないと皆さんに怒られてしまうので少し本題を話しますね。
Before you get angry, because I'm not actually talking about Street Fighter at all, I will start talking about my actual topic for today.
先ほどあまりちょっと面白くない、ジョージ・クルーニーがストリートパスの話をしたと思います。
Earlier, we had a boring version of George Clooney speaking about Street Pass or something.
なかなかちょっと皆さん彼の説明ではよく分からなかったと思います。
I think most of you probably don't have a clue what he was talking about, right?
今回、Nintendo 3DS はもちろん 3D の表現、先ほどのショーン・ザ・シェイプのような、映像も 3D で表現できるような 3D の表現はもちろん搭載してるんですけども、通信という新しいその機能、こちら通信という力強くなった機能っていうのもですね、今回 Nintendo 3DS の大きな特徴になっています。
Of course, you all know about the 3D display as a big feature of this new Nintendo 3DS console. We'll be able to see Shaun the Sheep in 3D, but there's actually another very powerful set of features that I would like to focus on today, which are the communication features.
ストリートファイターといえば皆さんどういう形で対戦してたか思い出してください。
So please think back what kind of fights or battles you've been having in Street Fighter in the previous versions.
昔はこのように隣同士で面と面を向かって対戦してたと思います。
So I think in the past, what we've been doing is, battle against the person right next to you, one-on-one, face-to-face, playing against each other.
でも今回のスーパーストリートファイター 4 3D エディションではこのすれ違い通信を使っていつでもどこでも誰とでもいつの間にか対戦をしているということを実現しています。
But we have a new kind of versus battle in Super Street Fighter 4 edition,
Right.
which is allows you to fight anytime, anywhere, anyone, and whenever you want, and immediately. Sorry.
はい。普通にですねストリートファイター 4 3D エディションをプレイをしていくとですね皆さんの手元の中にいろいろなフィギュアが手に入ります。
So while you're playing Super Street Fighter 4 3D edition, you'll get fighter figurines. You'll be receiving.
そのさまざまなフィギュアを手に入れたら皆さん Nintendo 3DS のすれ違い通信のスロットにセットしてみてください。
And what I'd like to ask you to do is, when you get those figurines, please set them in the Street Pass settings on your Nintendo 3DS console.
そして Nintendo 3DS を閉じてもらって
And then you close the system.
ポッケに入れたりバッグの中に入れたりリュックサックの中に入れて街中に出てみてください。
And then please put it in your pocket, in your bag, in your backpack, and go out into the streets.
そうすると先ほどのローンの時のビデオのような綺麗なお姉さんとすれ違うかどうかは分かりませんが職場や学校や街でさまざまな人といつの間にか対戦をするような仕様が入っています。
And we have a mode that allows you to have versus battles. I don't know if you'll have battles with beautiful girls like the one we saw in the video, but when you're at school, at work, or just walking in the streets, you will have battles, Street Fighter battles, without you even noticing it.
この Nintendo 3DS でさらに強化されたすれ違い通信を使うことによって皆さんはこのストリートファイター4の上でですね新しい通信対戦を経験することができると思っています。
So I strongly believe that using Street Pass, this new communication feature of Nintendo 3DS, you will have a completely new kind of versus battle experience that you haven't had before.
ここまでの説明で先ほどのジョージ・クルーニーより皆さんもう少し分かってくれたんじゃないでしょうか。
So I think, or I hope, did you understand a little bit better what Street Pass is about than earlier with George Clooney? Yes?
はい、ありがとう。Thank you very much.
Thank you.
そしてさらにストリートファイターといえばやはり対戦です。人と人が出会って対戦しないと面白くないですね。
Obviously, Street Fighter is mainly about one-on-one fighting.
今回ストリートファイター4には4つの通信の対戦の経験をしてもらうモードを入れてあります。
And there are 4 communication modes that allow you to fight other players.
Nintendo 3DS でさらに強化になった Wi-Fi コネクションを使うことによって僕が東京にいてジョナサンがロンドンにいてもいつの間にか対戦をしてしまうという今回仕様を取り入れています。
And there's an enhanced version of Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, internet play. So with Jonathan in London, me in Tokyo, we can just play anytime and fight a battle out.
そしてもちろんポケットモンスターで皆さんが経験されているように僕とジョナサンが同じ家にいた場合でもローカルの通信で対戦するっていう仕様はもちろん入っています。
And then, as you know from Pokemon,
yeah, right.
There's also local play. So just sitting next to each other via local wireless play, you can connect.
そしてもう一つ大きな要素として僕とジョナサンがプレーをしている間に皆さんは僕とジョナサンの対戦をしている映像が見ることができないです。今までは見ることはできませんでした。
And then there's a new mode that we have added, which until now, if Jonathan and Ono-san, when they were playing, nobody else could watch them on their console.
そこにあなたが Nintendo 3DS を持っている場合は、僕とジョナサンの対戦を見ることができることが今回、ライブチャンネルライブという機能で、可能になりました。
And this time we have a communication mode called Channel Live, which allows you and you and you to actually, if you have a Nintendo 3DS, to link in and watch those two fight out the battle.
これもNintendo 3DS で強化されたネットの機能を使うことによって実現できた仕様です。
And this is also a feature that we could only implement because of the enhanced communication features, capabilities of this console.
そして最後にストリートファイターといえばキャラクターです。キャラクターどれを使おうか皆さん悩んでませんか？
So, and I think when we talk Street Fighter, it's also about the characters, the fighters. Probably you're worrying, which character should I pick when I play, maybe Jonathan?
あちらにいらっしゃるような若い方はもちろんいろいろなキャラクター使えるでしょう。こちらにちょっと奥の方にいらっしゃるような少々お年を召した方は昔のキャラクターしか使えないかもしれません。でも安心してください。今回のスーパーストリートファイター 4 3D エディションは35体のキャラクターが皆さんを待っています。
So new players, like maybe over there, would be probably comfortable with almost any character. But maybe then there's this old guy over there. Maybe you are actually a bit worried about all these new characters that you have to get accustomed to. I can relieve you all because actually we have 35 characters, and some of them really original Street Fighter characters. So anyone should be able to find the character that suits them.
このような内容、コンテンツが Nintendo 3DS の手のひらの中で実現することが今回可能になりました。ぜひ皆さん、新しい通信対戦という体験をですね、この Nintendo 3DS で経験してみてください。
So all of these new features, new modes were possible because of the new capabilities of Nintendo 3DS. I really hope that you will all have a chance to try it out and enjoy these various online battle modes that we have.
Thank you very much for your listening. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Dotto Mate Ono-san. You know what, the one I want to see Street Fighter versus Animal Crossing. That's the game I'm waiting for. But I'm going to ask you to stay with us for just a moment because next, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to invite onto the stage the president of Nintendo of Europe, Mr. Shibata-san.
Thank you, Ono-san.
I'm sorry I forgot your name.
Yeah, not so famous enough.
Thank
you.
Shibata-san, it's great to have you here, of course. Before we say goodbye to Ono, let me ask you, what character would you play if you're playing Street Fighter? What character do you go for normally? I can see you as Chun-Li.
Me? I think I'm much more Ryu or Ken.
Oh, okay.
I think. But perhaps you probably could be the Blanca. It's an ugly monster.
Well, I'm afraid that's all we have time for, ladies and gentlemen, today. That's just how I picture myself. Mr. Ono, what about you?
Oh, I'm usually using, so I hope usually, David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Ono-san, and thank you for the translating, Kevin Bacon. Thank you so
very
much.
Thank you very much.
Shibata-san. Obviously, the involvement of companies like Capcom means a lot. Why is it so important to have companies like that on board?
Yeah. We are committed to working with the third-party developers to further expand the capability of Nintendo 3DS. The platform has been opened up for developers to let their own talent create innovative new software. The third-party support we've received so far is very important to us. The strength of the third-party lineup demonstrates the serious commitment developers have made to the new console. So Nintendo 3DS is giving developers a chance to interact with much-loved characters in new ways, combining classic gameplay with new 3D and social elements. So working with a wide range of developers we want to make sure Nintendo 3DS appeal to long-time gaming fans and newcomers by offering a range of software to attract fans of all genres.
So you've got everything from Nintendogs, I know we're going to see that, where you can gently tickle the puppy, of course, to Street Fighter, where you're kicking each other's heads off.
That's right. So we are delighted that developers are bringing some classic franchise to Nintendo 3DS and look forward to some great new titles too.
Okay, well, let's hear more from the people who are actually making the games. Our next guest is the CEO of a leading international developer, publisher, and distributor of interactive entertainment products, a true titan in the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited to say he's coming out. He's a behemoth, a legend, the second largest in-house development staff in the world, 24 studios in 17 countries. Will you please welcome President and CEO of Ubisoft, Yves Guillemot.
Hello.
Hello, Yves.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
And you.
So hello, everybody. I'm very happy to be here because we have always been a great supporter of Nintendo. And as you could see, lots of people could just dance this Christmas on the Wii. And we are so happy with what has been done. So I'm here because I am a big fan of the Nintendo 3DS. When we went in Japan to see it the first time, we were just amazed by the possibilities this machine has. You know, how accessible it is to play 3D games and to be immersed in a completely new world. So we dove in and started to prototype, and we have now learned that possibilities are endless on this machine. You know, our creative teams were able to develop many new ideas, and so we expect to have 8 games for the launch of the machine in the launch period, sorry, and we will have Rayman that is coming back, and it's a fantastic game on the machine. You will have also Combat of Giants using what you explained, the Street Pass, where you will be able to have your dragons, and when you meet with somebody, your dragons will virtually fight against dragons from the other party. And that will be, I think, very, very neat and interesting. And you will see also a Ghost Recon, a tactic Ghost Recon game that is also coming. And you will see very soon also products on our Imagine series and also some pets games. So I'm sure you will love those games, and you will love the immersive possibilities of that machine, and I hope you will enjoy. Thanks very much, and have a good day.
Thank you, Yves. Exciting games on display already. I think I speak for everyone here when I say I can't wait to play them. Ladies and gentlemen, will you join me in saying a big thank you to Yves Guillemot and, of course, Shibata-san. Mr. Shibata, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It falls to me now, and it's an honour to invite onto the stage another legendary development team. Konami has created so many epic games over its long history, but none so successful as the fabulous Pro Evolution series. It's a big favourite in my house. I'm sure it is in many of yours as well. So it's with great excitement then that I can welcome the executive producer of Pro Evolution Soccer, Mr. Enomoto, and the producer of Pro Evolution Soccer, Mr. Hatsumi. Will you please welcome them both now?
Hi. Hi, 皆さんこんにちは。コナミの榎本です。
Hello everyone, I'm Enomoto from Konami.
皆さんこんにちは。コナミの初見です。
Hello everyone, my name is Hatsumi, also from Konami.
Nintendo 3DS のコンセプトを聞いたときに、さまざまな可能性がひらめき、非常にワクワクしたのを覚えています。
I can remember that I was so excited when I first heard about the concept of Nintendo 3DS. It opened my eyes to many possibilities.
現在のところ、3D のテレビはまだ 一部の人のものでしかない状態です。しかし、この Nintendo 3DS により、たくさんの 3D を、しかも裸眼で見ることができると思います。
Now, only a limited number of people own 3D TVs. However, due to Nintendo 3DS, I think many people will be able to experience 3D even without the need of glasses.
早速、この新しいハードで、コナミの人気ゲームを 3D 化したり、新しいゲームを作ったりして、たくさんのファンの皆さんに驚きを感じてもらうと思いました。
I would like to actually reinvent Konami's favorite franchises to 3D and create brand new ones so that many game fans could experience this new surprise.
そうした Nintendo 3DS 用に立ち上げたコナミのプロジェクトの中で、皆さんにお届けすべき選んだタイトルは、PES の Nintendo 3DS 版です。PES は、ご存知のように、ヨーロッパの皆さんにとって非常に身近なフットボールをテーマにしたもので、多くのファンに支えられているタイトルです。
Konami has launched Nintendo 3DS project, and we chose PES for the title for Nintendo 3DS. The game uses the familiar theme of football, and the series has been supported by many fans in Europe, the home continent of football.
Nintendo 3DS の感動をぜひPES を通じてたくさんの方々に、味わっていただきたいと、コナミはPESを、最初のタイトルとして選定いたしました。
We selected PES as the first title, as we wanted many people to feel the new experience of Nintendo 3DS through PES 2011 3D.
それではトレーラーをご覧ください。
So we'll now show a trailer. Please have a look.
PES 今回の PES2011-3D、これにつきましては今のトレーラーでもありましたようにハードで、実現しております。でそれを例えて言うならば本当に実際のスタジアムで、試合を観戦しているような感覚、そういうリアリティを感じられると思っております。
In the past, gamers may have felt that they were watching a football match on TV. However, 3D enabled us to express depth and improve the realism so gamers can feel as if they're watching matches from the stadium.
また、今、トレーラーでもありましたように、選手の背中からの視点ですね。これを一人称視点なんですけれども、我々は本当にピッチの上に選手が立っているような感覚、それを感じていただけると思います。
And the camera view I was talking about is called player's view, and it's right behind the player character, and it feels
そしてスペースがあればスルーパスをしたりロングパスをしたり、そして、ドリブルでもちろんていると、感じております。
So the whole football experience is different. Gamers can play the game passionately, like real football players, ripping the defense apart by dribbling and using through passes to score amazing goals.
3D で楽しめる初めての、フットボールゲームということでですね、ぜひこの欧州のフットボールファン、すごいたくさんいると思うんですけれども、ぜひその皆さんに。
Very good looking.
Sorry, I just finished a quick catch-up conversation in 3D with Ono-san. So, let's start with both a name and a game environment that most of you are already familiar with. Pilot Wings Resort will have you soaring over the same Hoo-Hoo Island that you know from Wii Fit or Wii Sport. From what makes all this new is going airborne in full 3D. You've got the choice of just floating over the island, casually seeing the side, or competing to hit targets using your hang glider, rocket belt, or airplane. Next, Jonathan, you'll be glad to hear that the much-loved Nintendogs is back, and for the Nintendo 3DS, it's more real than ever. The original, of course, left some cat lovers feeling a little bit left out. But now, that's solved with our new title, Nintendogs and Cats. Just like real life, the puppies will beg for attention and affection, while you're going to have to work a bit harder to earn love from your kitty. What's really important here is the impact of the display screen and its underlying technology. In the original Nintendo DS game, two versions of the same breed of dog will differ. Looked pretty much like mine. Now, with Nintendo 3DS, not only does the fur look absolutely petable, but we've built in a wide variability in body size, body shape, leg length. The puppies and the kittens can remember your face. If you put your face closer, they may lap you. But if he has never seen you before, when you call him over, he may get scared and bark. Some of you might remember a tech demo we used on the Nintendo DS at the very beginning. You used the Nintendo DS touchscreen to maneuver a submarine through reefs and rolls and shoals, and fire off torpedoes. It's finally prepared to surface as a Nintendo 3DS title called Steel Diver, and it looks really better in 3D. Beyond what you've seen before, we've got an entirely new gameplay level for you today. You'll be looking through a periscope at the sea of enemy ships, but you won't need the circle pad to aim. Using the system's built-in gyroscope, you rotate your body and turn the periscope to target. Another favorite, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, is back and totally remastered with 3D visual and improved graphics. As is Kid Icarus. Kid Icarus Uprising, which is a brand new and completely different title from the franchise Nintendo originally introduced in the days of NES. Make sure you try this to understand what targeting and shooting is like in a true 3D environment.
In the games I've played, the other ones I think that I really notice a difference the most with is where you have that depth and you can really see where you're meant to be shooting and where you're going for. And it's times have changed so much. I mean, I've always loved shooting games. When I was a kid, of course, you used to throw stones at each other. That was the 3D shooting environment. Now, of course, you can do it through there. Lauren, please, this is the thing everyone wants to know, when can people actually get their hands on one?
Wait, first of all, let me show you small additional things. Okay. What makes Nintendo 3DS even more special. That's the software that is preloaded on the system. Why don't we have a look?
Okay. I'm looking forward to checking out all those things later. I know you are as well. Mr. Shibata is back on stage here with us to tell us a little bit more about what we've just seen. Shibata-san.
Okay. First, the Mii Maker, similar to the one you already recognize from the Wii. But instead of just starting the process from scratch, here you can also use a camera to take your own photo, and the hardware will automatically create your preliminary Mii. And you can make your own adjustments from there. So making Mii has become even much easier.
And a lot more fun as well, in a way, as well. We tried making one earlier. I had a go. I made my own Mii earlier on, and I think we can show it on the screen so you can see how it works. See, not so bad looking there.
That's very handsome.
Well, thank you very much.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you look at my Mii?
I beg your pardon. You know, the minute you walked out on stage, I was hoping you'd ask that. Yes, let's have a look at Shibata-san's Mii. There you go.
That's good, huh?
But you know, I didn't think you would actually recognize us if you met us in cyberspace. Closer.
And these Mii won't just appear in games. They will also be among the contents automatically solved by a street pass functionality.
Okay. So now that we are the best of virtual friends, we could use our Miis to play Face Raiders, is that right?
Yes. Now this is a new game that comes pre-installed on the Nintendo 3DS. You play by taking your own picture and inserting it into a shooting gallery of sorts.
Okay. So you can shoot yourself in the face?
That's right.
Sounds fantastic. And we saw AR cards on there a minute ago. Is that right? Were they AR cards?
Yeah. Yes, that you will have a chance to play later on today and see what the Nintendo 3DS can get out of the single card, this card. Also, it won't come pre-installed on the hardware. You will be able to enjoy the enhanced internet browser and the Nintendo eShop with a simple system update at a later date.
Okay, and what will you be able to get on the new Nintendo eShop?
Nintendo 3DS owners will find it easier than ever to get access to digital game downloads. The Nintendo eShop, a steady progression of Game Boy and Game Boy Color hits will become available on the Virtual Console, in addition to the new downloadable software titles. So just before we finish by confirming a launch plan for Europe, let's take a look at what will be on offer. in terms of the genre and selection, there will truly be something for everyone. Sports, action, shooter, fighter, family racing, RPG, all available on or very soon after launch day. And now to the question I know you are all very keen to hear answered. When you get your hands on your own Nintendo 3DS?
Well, that's the only reason I'm here, to be honest with you, but please, put us out of our misery. When can we get them?
Okay. Last year, we announced that we are aiming for a worldwide launch by the end of our fiscal year, which is March 31st. I'm now happy to announce we will honor this promise and will be launching Nintendo 3DS across Europe on March 25th. Thank you. As always, retailer price of our hardware is decided by the retailers. So our trade price has been delivered to customers already. So please refer to their prices. So I can also confirm that during the launch window, which we are defining as between launch and end of early June, more than 25 games will be available to Nintendo 3DS owner.
And of course you can play the old games on as well, but 25 new games is great. That's certainly going to keep me busy, and that's 1 week after my son's birthday, so I'll be calling you for an early one. Now, for all of you watching online, I'm afraid this is the time where we have to say sorry that you will not be able to, of course, experience the Nintendo 3DS for yourself today, and for that we're sorry, but rest assured we will be embarking on one of our most extensive sampling campaigns in Europe, starting in February. And this is what you should be saying. Okay. I got excited. I thought I ran Nintendo for a couple of minutes there. Shibato-san.
Okay, so for all you watching online, I'm sorry that you aren't able to experience Nintendo 3DS for yourself today. But rest assured, we will be embarking on our most extensive sampling campaign in Europe starting in February. And we hope and we will be able to show Nintendo 3DS to as many people as possible before it launches. So further detail will be published soon on Nintendo website. So thank you all for your interest today. I hope you'll be able to convey today that this isn't just a launch of another game device, but the start of the new entertainment era.
And as the new head of Nintendo of Europe, I would also like to thank you for coming. So you've heard now all about what the Nintendo 3DS has to offer. For those of you watching online, as I said, we're going to have to say goodbye to you. But for those of you here, and this is obviously an exciting moment, we're going to ask you to follow us out and come and experience Nintendo 3DS for yourselves. Will you join me in saying thank you to Shibato-san for the good news and for the presentation today? And let's go and get our hands on the 3DS. Let's go.
I'm Beth Chalmers, and welcome to this European launch of the new Nintendo 3DS system. Now, they've just finished in the main auditorium with the main presentation, where they've had the big reveal, and we've all been introduced to this portable entertainment system. Now, it's 3D, but you don't have to wear the special glasses, which is quite amazing. Now, behind me, we've got a gameplay area, which has been divided into various zones. And down there, having a look at what's happening, is Otis Dealey. So, Otis, how's it going?
Thanks, Beth. Well, it looks like the launch went very, very well, and there is now at least 1,100 eager journalists all proceeding into the gameplay area to sample the Nintendo 3DS for themselves. So let's have a quick recap. It's a portable entertainment system that allows you to engage with content in 3D without the need for special glasses. That's a very, very entertaining prospect. So we're now going to go through to the gameplay area. There are zones there, and each zone will let these people experience a different aspect, a different feature on the Nintendo 3DS. When we get there, I'll explain it to you in just a little bit. But what I really want to do is try and gauge the level of excitement here. I mean, this is something that Nintendo hope will completely revolutionize not just portable gaming, but entertainment. So I'm going to try and find myself a victim, if you will, to ask a question. Here's somebody. Excuse me. If I can just hold your attention for just a couple of seconds. What's your name?
Chris.
And where are you from, Chris?
I come from London.
Okay, so tell me, what feature are you most excited about?
Well, there's quite a few, to be honest. Obviously, the 3D side of things, which is absolutely awesome, and then the Street Pass. That looks brilliant. So
yeah, the Street Pass is just a fantastic feature. You've come a long way, so I'm not going to keep you too long. Go forth and play. Thanks very much for talking to us. So if you just follow me right now, I'm going to take you into this zone here. This is the gameplay area, as I said earlier, and it's divided up into different zones. We've got the 3D photo booth there. Just next to it is the pet shop. There's a no 3D zone there. Over at the far end is the Dojo Ono. There's a cinema, a cafe, and a bar. Now, all these give clues as to what functionality Nintendo's 3DS portable entertainment system has. I wonder if we can grab someone else for a bit of a chat. There's a guy over here who looks like he can't make up his mind what zone he actually wants to go into. Excuse me, just for a quick second, how did you find the speech in there? Did it wet your whistle?
Yeah, absolutely. Whistle is well and truly wetted. Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
I can see that you're kind of stuck as to which zone you're going to go in.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm a proper gamer, so I'll probably head for the games first, but the stuff like the camera and stuff like that is all unbelievable. So,
are there any particular titles you're more excited about than others?
Yeah, I'm a Street Fighter man, so it's all about Street Fighter for me, so I'm going to head for that first, I think.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I hope you have a wonderful time here. Thank you very much. I think we've got time for one more. So if we go deeper into the gameplay area here, you can see the security. I just want to point this out to you. If you take a look, you see the 3DS here, and you see a security chain linked to the person. Ain't nobody getting away with these at any time at all, unless they say so. One more person. Here we are. Someone rubbing their chin, contemplating which zone you're going to go into. What's your name?
I'm James from the UK.
James from the UK, so quite strong UK representation here. What game are you most excited about?
Well, there are a lot of good games. I think for me, Lego Star Wars 3 was the one I wasn't expecting to hear, and the one that I think can make really good use of the 3D screen.
How excited are you about the 3DS's potential?
Well, I think the whole point is there's lots and lots of entertainment devices you can hold in your hand. Only one is in 3D, and only one can actually make you feel that way. Nintendo 3DS, I think, with the camera and with the weird types of gameplay you can get, I think I'm proper excited.
Yeah, as am I. I'll let you get on with it. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. So there you have it. The Nintendo 3DS really isn't just a games console. It is a portable entertainment system and a complete and utter game changer. I'm very excited. Beth.
Thank you, Otis. Yes, it's all getting very exciting here. And thank you at home for joining us at this launch for the new Nintendo 3DS system. Now, seeing is believing, as they were saying, and this really does have to be seen to be believed. And you can do that. You can get your hands on it when it goes on sale on the 25th of March. But for now, from Otis and myself, we're going to get down there and have a bit of a play with all these systems. But for now, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening. And yes, from the launch of Nintendo, new 3DS system. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host for today, star of TV and radio, fan of games and gaming, Mr. Jonathan Ross.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't think I've been eating these. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. Willkommen, bienvenue, or as they say here in Amsterdam, konnichiwa. It is great to see you all here today. I know some of you have travelled quite a distance. You made a big effort to be here, and we appreciate you making that journey. Should also say hello to everyone who's watching online around the world. Thank you for tuning in and joining us. Now, as a gaming fan myself, I was thrilled when Nintendo called me and offered me the chance to look at this new thing early, and also to come over here and talk to you about the first ever gaming console that delivers 3D as we experience it in real life, without the need for special glasses, no matter how large. Today we're going to show you something which is obviously exciting, but also completely unique, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, the Nintendo 3DS. And the good news for everyone right here is that by the end of the day, all of you will have the chance to experience it for yourself firsthand. But in the meantime, well, we had to work out how to explain to you what it actually was like, the full 3D effect of the Nintendo 3DS without you actually holding one. That's quite a challenge. After a couple of hours of painstaking research, I think I came up with the perfect way to do that, which is to pass the buck and get someone else out here to do it. So here, to explain more about the Nintendo 3DS, will you please welcome Nintendo of Europe's Managing Director of Marketing and PR, Laurent Fischer.
Thank you, Jonathan. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome in Amsterdam. As you may remember, over a decade ago, we experimented with 3D. We even considered incorporating it into GameCube. But the technology to enable people to view 3D just wasn't there. In fact, ever since the day of NES, we've been pursuing the possibility of 3D. Because we have not given in, we were able to find out that the technology has improved. And as we kept challenging ourselves to find a way to use it on our systems, we can benefit from the fact, as far as 3D experience is concerned, portable game machines have an advantage over home consoles because they come with their own screen. We have developed a portable entertainment device that enables you to view full 3D in the palm of your hand. And there is much more to the Nintendo 3DS than bringing 3D gaming to the masses. Let's take a look. We reinvented gaming with the original touchscreen Nintendo DS. And then again with the Wii's motion controller. Now, the Nintendo 3DS is set to change gaming again. Of course, the most obvious change is the large 3D display screen on top.
So I can see it from here. And am I right in thinking that it obviously is bigger than the smaller screen? Is that bigger than the screen on my DSi?
Yeah, absolutely, that's right. That top screen is about 10% larger than the one on your Nintendo DSi. But what is really unique is what you experience on the screen. The 3D effect is fully adjustable. If you look just to the right of the screen, over there, you can see the 3D depth slider. This enables you to adjust the 3D to suit you.
And whenever I buy something like this, I always want to know whether it's going to be backward compatible. Can you play the old DS games on it?
Yeah, you bet. Nintendo 3DS will accept not only your Nintendo 3DS games, but also almost all your favorite Nintendo DS and DSi titles. There's also a SD card memory slot. 2 gig cards come with the system, and of course, you can upgrade from there by purchasing larger size SD cards.
And the controls, they look more or less the same as the ones we're used to?
Yeah, you find again the basic control. You have A, B, X, and Y buttons on the right. On the left and right shoulder, you have the left and right shoulder button, and on the other side, you also recognize the control pad. But here's a new addition, and it's an important one, that analog circle pad just above the control pad you can see over there. Developers are going to love using this for precise movement of character, or movement of the camera, or put it into other innovative uses, but we'll have more of that later.
Which is something you say quite a lot, I notice.
Yeah. What we can see, however, what we can't see, however, are the two elements at work inside the consoles. A built-in motion sensor and gyro sensor can react to the motion and tilt off the system.
Which sounds to me incredibly impressive, but I've no idea what that actually means.
So whether players are twisting the system side to side or moving them up or down, their motion-compatible Nintendo 3DS games respond instantly. No other system includes so many tools for game developers to create new and fun experiences for players. Next, I'd like to point out something small but means a lot. You see that light over there? Actually, you're looking there.
Yeah, well, there's both places.
Okay, let's cross. Okay,
3D.
It's the same on the same side. This will signal a new level of automatic connectivity that will take handheld gaming onto another level. But more of that later.
Well, there you go again. Your wife must love it when you keep saying that, more of that later. One thing I have to ask you, now I saw in the film that it said it has a 3D camera. This is a true 3D camera?
Yeah, absolutely. It actually got 3 cameras, as you had noticed, in the movie. The first is just above the screen and is allowing you to photograph your own image as you use the consoles. On the outside, there's also 2 separate cameras. These 2 cameras will allow developers to explore new forms of game design, and on top of this, with Nintendo 3DS, you can take and view your own 3D photos and share them with friends by SD memory card.
Well, I love the idea that 3D photos are great. It's such an exciting thing. What else, what other features can you tell us about?
So, apart from being able to watch and play in 3D without glasses, another interesting aspect of the Nintendo 3DS is Spot Pass.
Spot Pass?
What's that?
Okay, I have no idea. What is it?
Spot Pass will revolutionize the way you receive content whilst on the move. With data, the notification led our
films. Angry Kid found his audience through the internet with over 60 million downloads, long before he found his niche on television. Pioneering might be too strong a word for us, but innovation is very much in our DNA, and this partnership with Nintendo is very much about innovation, moving things forward, and creating new markets. And today, with over 600 people on the payroll, Aardman is firing on all cylinders, with our productions reaching huge audiences worldwide. In fact, it's this global success and Aardman's ability to create compelling content across many platforms that has led to this very, very exciting partnership with Nintendo. Last year, we worked with Nintendo to help promote the Flipnote studio on the DSi. One of our animators created 12 short films on the Nintendo DSi using the software, and we realized that here was another partner that had the same philosophy as we did, to create excellent entertainment in innovative ways to reach global audiences. So, today, it gives me great pleasure to be able to announce that Aardman and Nintendo are once again working together to bring some very exciting developments to the 3DS. And these short films will be accessed via Spot Pass and should be available at the end of the year. Over the last few years, we've established Sean as a major brand with broad appeal in over 150 countries worldwide. That's from the USA right the way through to China. We have numerous global partnerships.
お話だけですと本当に半分ぐらいしか伝わってないと思いますので、本当にぜひこの 3DS というハードに関してはまずプレイをしてで感じ取る、ぜひ体験をしていって帰っていただきたいと思っております。
So I think no matter how long my speech becomes, I will never be able to really convey how it feels to playing this game on Nintendo 3DS. So I really hope that you take the occasion and really get it hands-on and play a match to really see how this new gaming experience is.
I think already, though, it looked pretty awesome up there. Thank you very much. Will you join me, ladies and gentlemen, in saying thank you to Mr. Enomoto and Mr. Hatsumi. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I can't wait. It's going to be like playing football in my local league, but maybe actually have a chance of winning for once. Now, it's with great excitement, and it does sound a little bit scary, but don't be scared, because the next people I'm going to introduce sound like a shadowy organisation that travel the world silently killing people in their sleep. However, I'm reliably informed that the Tecmo Koei's Team Ninja have never actually admitted to doing any such thing. They are, of course, a Japanese video game development studio. They were formed in 1995. They have created some fantastic games. I'm sure you will know them for the Dead or Alive series. And with games like that, we're excited to hear about what they have planned for the Nintendo 3DS. So please join me in welcoming onto the stage head of Team Ninja and producer of Dead or Alive Dimensions, Mr. Hayashi.
Hi. 今までいろんな方が Nintendo 3DS の素晴らしい機能というのは皆さんにお伝えしたかと思います。
So I think you've heard a lot of talk already about the features and new capabilities of the Nintendo 3DS.
私はこの Nintendo 3DS がどれだけの性能を持って皆さんがどれだけの映像でゲーム体験ができるのか、それを皆さんにお伝えしに今日来ました。
And the reason why I'm here, I think my main purpose is to talk a little bit about appearing or coming out in Europe in 1998. And it's been developed on various hardware, but for the past 5 years, we've been silent.
この5年間、このタイトルというのは発売していないんですけども、その間我々はハンドヘルドにおける 3D ファイティングゲームというものに非常に可能性を感じていまして、その企画というのを練っていました。
During this time, we felt that there was a great opportunity for a fighting game on a handheld console, and we've been carefully planning one for some time.
ただし、その時にそのふさわしいハードというのがなくて、この企画というのは実現していませんでした。
However, due to the absence of a suitable console, these plans have not become reality so far.
我々は Nintendo 3DS に出会うことで初めてこの企画を実現します。
Our ideas became reality when we were introduced to Nintendo 3DS.
デッドアライブシリーズ初のハンドヘルド、そしてデッドアライブシリーズの復活の場としてこの Nintendo 3DS がふさわしかったと我々は確信しています。
We firmly believe that Nintendo 3DS is the right console for the first Dead or Alive handheld version, as well as the resurgence of the Dead or Alive series. So now, trailer?
Yes. Zero.
Thank you. 本作「デッド・アライブ・ディメンションズ」はデッド・アライブの総集編でありベスト版です。
Dead or Alive Dimensions is actually contains the highlights for the entire Dead or Alive series, and it's also a kind of best of version of Dead or Alive.
シリーズの特徴である立体的なステージ、魅力的なキャラクターたちが5年ぶりに美しくなって帰ってくるだけではありません。3D になってより迫力を増してこのデッド・アライブ・ディメンションズに現れます。
It's not simply a case of 3D stages and fascinating characters that are the traits of this series, coming back more beautiful.